Greetings, Pillar Next to Scenes. Glad here today with Deckworks. Today I'm going to be featuring Neuroscape's Master Diver Kit for Genesis set. I'm going to include the cards that were opened from the booster pack from the previous video. Make two completely new decks from the 9 packs included in the kit. The basic RAM cards also included. And again, that first booster pack that was opened. So I'm going to be sorting things based on Mainframe cards in their own pile. And then anything that's a single faction into its own pile. Anything that's a double faction will go next to the Mainframes. And ultimately, the idea for decks in general is just make two very different decks, have a focus on either Bioframe or Mainframe damage for each deck. I see a lot of Dustrunner already. Also see a few factionless. Will give me some options to work with. And again, we'll try to bear in mind the way the camera's lined up on everything. I have it down a level to so I actually open up more boosters. Alright. So yeah, again, this game just kind of came out of nowhere for me. Like, it just got to the game store, it's like, oh hey, completely new card game, and it's Cyberpunk. Let's pick it up. Yeah, with regard to basic RAM, I'm wondering if they're going to do anything like non-basic RAM at some point. I see they're doing the kind of fancy RAM cards. Reminds me a lot of the Dawn card concept from One Piece, where all Dawn cards do the same thing, but you can have a look specific to what you're trying to play. Kind of fits in with the idea of what you're doing here. And find a deck to make use of the Cosmic Kitty. We'll see about that too. Alright. Anyway, so the first one. So it goes with four rarities of common, uncommon, rare, and also quantum rare. Quantum also covers certain promotional cards. I've been getting a lot of like Dustrunner ones so far. I have to wonder if there's a way to just do a whole Dustrunner deck, or it's just something to augment the deck I already have. Tarot. So yeah, there's the reverse thing. If you are able to play cards or tarot cards reversed, you can swap the pink instances with each other. So either a character can get +2/+2 or -2/-2. I want to believe the old Magic standard of defense down to 0 is an automatic removal. The state base. The Hermit. Nanobot messenger. I know someone who I work with someone who is a big fan of Alice in Wonderland and Cheshire Cat and all that. I wonder if she'll be interested in this existing. Savage Dust Storm. Front all non-Dustrunner characters. Well, certainly going to be something to start with. And a Mainframe. It seems like the last card in the pack is always going to be a Mainframe, and I approve. I approve of that idea being a thing. I think if Alpavar did here's a stronghold, a random stronghold in every pack of the main set, that work a little bit better for drafting that game. Yeah, the card that you need to play the game should not be borderline impossible to get. Pulling all the hacker stuff now. Temperance. Target character can't be destroyed, or target program. That's getting too... only got one that one time. Alright. Death Metal. Destroy target character. Requires that you have Thrasher. Then there's Delete, which is the faction neutral 4-cost. That is the same thing. Crossfade. Who remembers Crossfade? Emperor. All the tarot cards. Holy crap. Shiny Fooled. The High Priestess. Counter target character or program. Interesting counter spell. Shiny Mainframe. Ooh. Anyway. Yeah, looking at some of the images in the main rule book for the game. There's some, oh hey, we need to shout out to the Matrix, and oh hey, we need to shout out to Akira. Which is fine. Cyberpunk needs all the love it can get at this point. Okay, there seems to be a lot. Every faction, it seems, has this 1 cost, 2 RAM ability to install 1 running character. Case in point, also have a Scavenger, as well as the Executive. That ability to maintain a certain strategy regardless of faction alignment is kind of nice. I just worry that it goes into the kind of homogenous end of where games can sometimes end up. Bulb. All antivirus. Destroy program, attach to mainframe, or remove all counters. That's just like an automatic sideboard, you know. If it's not in your deck already, have it in your sideboard to deal with the hacker player. A lot of tarot cards. I'm kind of amused by it. The Spirit's Realm. So Spirit Realm is an environment. Enter all characters in recycle bins that share a faction with their owner's Mainframe. Our opponent player with their owner's control with a spirit counter. Characters cost is set to 0 if they would leave play, purge them instead. The spirit realm leaves play, purge all spirits. Interesting. Synthetics. There's Cybernetic Mainframe. And again, I just like to point out the art is just so fucking cool. Or Dustrunners. A lot of Dustrunner and a lot of Mystic. Some tells me there's a major story reason for why there's such a big availability of Dustrunners. There's delete. Justice. Star. Rudy. Okay. I appreciate the way this game handles everything compared to the last Cyberpunk trading card game I covered. The Cyberpunk what was it? The collectible card game. The Cyberpunk 2013 version. The game had its charms, but man, it was a mess. God. I think part of the reason why the other people pitch the store auctions like, oh yeah, people can bring in dead card games too. Alright. But yeah, the whole, you got both your bioframe and your mainframe means you gotta pick one strategy or the other. Because if you try to include both, you're not going to make a whole lot of progress on either. Acid rain. What would Cyberpunk be without some humanity has fucked up the environment stuff? Alright. Hive Dynamics. 2 mainframes. There's Fire Starter and Hive Dynamics. Nanobot. Nanobot seems like the dragon faction of the set. So when I say dragon faction, Cloud Fantasy had a 5th faction that wasn't featured in any of the starters. Starter stacks. The 2-player sets of elves versus goblins and undead versus centaurs. The 5th faction, Dragon, you only get it from boosters, and it occupied your rare slot, or the non-common slot. But it was extraordinarily powerful. You could make it work. Yeah. Destroy target program. Not counter, just destroy. So destroy means it's got to be in play. Counter will let you stop it before it actually happens, though. There's an interesting idea. Frenzied Fan. If your Frenzied Fan would be destroyed, you can pay 2 Mainframe and 2 Bioframe to put them back into your hand. It's another, being able to use your health as a resource is an interesting approach in that sense. Let's see here. White Knight. Wonderland robot. What is serialized? Luna, the Sacred Moon. Iconic Mystic. One moment. Probably not going to the deck. Okay. Hey, alternative basic RAM. Neat thing. What is that symbol? It is Cybernetic. Alright. Number 17 out of 100. Holy crap. Yeah, we'll start off to the side for a minute. That's nice. I don't think I've ever pulled a serialized individual card before. I remember getting individually numbered gift box sets for Dot Hack Enemy. I bought 2 of them because they were available and nobody was buying them that I could actually afford to get 2 of them. Groupie. Psycho. Groupie. More double faction fun. Alright. Garbage day. Purge all recycle bins. More reminders of, hey, quit fucking up the environment. There's Saw Berserker. Let's see. So the last slot is either Mainframe or alternative basic RAM to fit in with what your faction is. Alright. Yeah, the Mystic Palace getting pretty freaking big here. That might be the thing. Alright. Alright. I appreciate the hologram is basically the same thing. It's just a matter of style for some of these. Alright. Drugs, because apparently that's part of why this is in the 15 plus category. It was like, there's some other older audience games that aren't necessarily inappropriate, there's some adult level games that that don't necessarily mean only adults should be watching this game being played. I think of Hecatomb and Flesh of Blood. Counter target card. It's paid for. There's another mainframe. Virus. Yeah, it's just getting into the upper level age group for audiences means it's going to be limiting the game to those audiences. At the same time, it's probably for the better. Just to have the people with some semblance of maturity actually handling the game with hopefully a little bit more maturity as well. Lugnut. Cybernetic animal. Oh yeah. Quake 2 says hi. That's also the movie Eraser. Codebreaker. Back and the Bruisers. Neurodisruptor. 15 psychosis and must attack available. Savage. Alright. Let's take a look at what mainframes we've currently got. Thrasher, Cybernetic, Nanobot, an extra Nanobot. Hacker, although with DeepNet as an alternative. Hacker. Okay. Synthetics. I believe that's the one Arc is running. No, Arc is running the psychosis management. Aethernets is Hacker Mystic. And Spotlight is Thrasher Corpo. Alright. So there's our mainframe to work with. It's a little bit more visible here. Let's look at what we got here to work with. Absolute shitload of Mystic. But nothing in Mystic to do the reverse. Let's see here. It does let me work with Hacker though, and Hacker's probably one of my other good options. And I might do Thrasher Corpo. We'll see here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll end up doing is Thrasher Corpo and Hacker Mystic. Okay. With that out of the way, let's take a look at what else I got here. Cybernetic animal, it's neither. Corpo Bot. Corpo Bot. Wonderland Corpo. AI Hacker. Wonderbot. Wonder Corpo. Corpo Bot. Dustrunner Mystic. So, alright. What I might do is hold myself to the sealed deck building limitations of exactly 30, or at least 30 Just so I can build something. Okay. I'm going Hacker Mystic. Gonna open up that many cards for them. Thrasher Corpo. Meanwhile, let's kind of add up those. And then we add those on top of it. And then we'll look at whatever other options are. Alright, let's see here. We got, alright, our non-faction options to consider for things we can use to round out each of the decks. Sometimes you just might have to consider these as options. All right. Because Thrasher Corpo has less options to work with in general, we'll start out with their deck. Alright. Set aside this one. Alright. Let's see what we got to work with here. Need at least 30 cards out of all this. We'll set aside the factionless stuff for a minute. And let's see what we can do. Wonderland Corpo. I need to have other Wonderland going into the deck to make use of this one. At least for taller. Alright. ACPD drones. Oh yeah, that's what the setting apparently is called. Is it Garbage Day? Angel City. Alright. Yeah. Run target character. Makes them unable to block. But I have to use the drones to even do that. Destroy secret drones to deal bioframe damage. So there's an option there. The spotlights mainframe is 1 Thrasher and 1 Corpo. Once per turn, install 1 ram running. Whenever you destroy a character an opponent controls. So once per turn. If we've got 2 of each, then the once per turn limit is gone. And you just keep building up RAM. Okay. Got police, insurance, generational wealth. Corporal is a good way to build up a ton of RAM, it seems. Chronos Maestra. Just install some more in this gear. Let's see. Right, police. Yeah, pottery. On net check, the active player may pay 2 to reveal cards from their cyber deck until they reveal a Corpo character in their hand and shuffle the rest back in. As long as you're not playing against a Corpo opponent. That might work. Alright, on the Thrasher side of things with Groupie. Yeah, I might need to have the Corpo bots in there for the sake of the mainframe. Am I going to do primarily bio damage? Yep. Alright. On enter target iconic Thrasher character control, it's +2/+0. Until Groupie leaves. So if I don't have any iconic characters, this is not going to work. Did I pull any iconic characters for this? No. So maybe this was not the right call to make. What are my alternatives, though? Cybernetic. Build another Cybernetic deck. Thrasher Cybernetic might be the other key. We'll do that. We'll drop the Corpo side for now. And go Thrasher Cybernetic. And let's revisit the cards that I have already reviewed here. Cybernetic Animal. Alright. Cybernetic. Do I have an iconic Cybernetic? No. Because it only works on iconic Thrashers, apparently. However, the presence of the Groupie is at least enough to count towards the mainframe. Alright. Groupie's off to the side. Savage. Thrasher and Cybernetic creatures. Characters you control with Cybernetic gear get stamina. The equivalent of vigilance and magic. And then at 2 each, characters you control with Thrasher gear get feedback. Whenever a character is dealt damage, deals that much bioframe damage to the source's controller. Ow. Okay. Groupies will sit off to the side for a minute while I figure this out. We've got Thrasher gear. Thrasher character. Oh, that might be a reason to keep Groupie. Skin Smasher. For 2 other Thrasher characters you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Which would bring her up from a 0 to a 1. Alright. Wall of Death. Put a Mosh counter on Wall of Death on that check. Draw more Mosh counters, purge it if you do until turn end. All characters must attack or block if able, and Thrasher characters get +2/+2. Okay. Alright. Rudy. Death metal. Alright, is there anything that is just not viable at all here? I don't have any iconic Thrasher characters, but having something that can count towards the mainframe bonus is better than nothing. The key thing here is, do I have the gear to make this work? Alright. Sage Diver. Oh yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm looking at this like, oh hey, this is the Rocker Boy faction. And it got me thinking about, again, the other Cyberpunk card game. And one of the things that kind of annoyed me about that one is the faction abilities aren't spelled out on each of the cards. You have to look them up in the rulebook, which is kind of annoying. So I appreciate this game doesn't do that kind of pain in the ass thing. These characters actually have more abilities than are on the card. You just have to look them up in the rulebook. Like, why? 18. Alright. Let's see what we actually have in the other pile. Cybernetics. So yeah, at some point the Cyberpunk Red card game is supposed to come out, and I have no idea how. That's going to affect this game. I don't know. When I saw the game getting kind of advertised on like either Facebook or somewhere, it's like I wasn't too impressed with the way it looked. Interesting that the Laser Saw Berserker is in the kind of oddball color scheme instead of using yellow. Back alley breachers. Alright. Blackout boys, +1 for each other blackout boys control. Do I have more? Good. Alright. Thrasher and Cybernetic coming together in the field of we're going to kick your ass and have a good time. Oh yeah. Another reason for the upper level age rating. The Plug is a cybernetic character whose ability is the good shit. Search your cyber deck for a drug and reveal it and put it in your hand. Alright. Well, if I got 2 copies of... Well, I got 2 of them, it's not necessarily a wrong choice. Once a Riot Blades. So, I think this will work out. Can also include a fun alternative basic RAM card. I'm going to build these up in, like... we'll go from there. Alright. So character-wise, we got a lot of the big bruisers right here. Like at 5 and 5. Got the overrun character of Trample. Laser Saw Berserker. Each cybernetic faction you control. On turn and destroy them. If you're going to be ending the game, might work out. Alright. So I had 18 in the Thrasher side. I got another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16. 18 and 16 is 34. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build each deck to the same number. Even if I can't build it to 50. Alright. Let's review what this deck is good for. Duel another character, get drugs, install some extra RAM, deal damage, power strike, more RAM, pay myself to get my fan back, improve Thrasher characters. Not having the iconic Thrasher character sucks, but counting as a faction for the mainframe is always appreciated. Feedback. Oh, this hurts if I actually end up hurting her with my own stuff. Oops. But if someone else does it, I'll regret it. Can deal damage to other characters. And stop another character from blocking. Okay. We got immune to psychosis. Do I have anything that's going to inflict psychosis, or at least defend against psychosis? Codebreaker. Flux Cannon. Overdriver doubles psychosis. Plasma Shackle. But it's malicious. I can get Bioframe back. Huh. Yeah, provided something you're getting hit with. Alright, so far that stack is at 34. Let's note to self. Because we're probably going to use the factionless stuff to make up for the shortage if I'm able to build a sufficiently relevant deck with the Thrasher or Hacker and Mystic. Alright. Here. Phantom OS. I need to have at least a virus or Trojan in my deck to make use of it. To make use of its ability, it's still decent as a mainframe buster. Okay. Hacker. Yep, this looks like the mainframe hitter of Hacker Mystic. Alright. Let's see what we got here. We got so the Ethernet mainframe is you can play Taros or hacker scripts from your recycle bin. At one hacker and one mystic for double their cost. or add 2 Hacker and 2 Mystic for their base cost. Either way, they're purged. Firewall. Source would deal mainframe damage to you. Prevent the damage, put breach counter. On the second breach counter is purged. Of course, when I'm going up against a Bioframe, that's a striker, it's not going to matter. So what else we got here? Black Hat. Corruption counter. Mainframe damage for each corruption counter. So we're probably going to be putting antivirus in that deck. Hackathon. Reboot the abilities of all hacker characters control. So you can only use one ability each turn, and rebooting lets you do it again. You reboot automatically during your next turn. Leak. There's a Trojan. The grid. At this rate, I could probably just take Hex's deck and modify that. That might have been the other approach to this, is what can I do to modify the decks I currently have? So trying to make my own from scratch. 1 damage to each character, target player controls. 4 mainframe damage to any target. Hackers just direct damage. Alright. Not a whole lot on the hacker side of things. This, to get me the hacker presence that I need. Alright. Yeah, there's not a whole lot on the hacker side of this. It's going to be rough. But it's probably one of my better options to work with. One of the things that a sealed build option also offers is the blank mainframe. It has no faction, it has no abilities. It just occupies the mainframe slot to say, this is my mainframe. It's an old rusty piece of shit, but hey, it's better than nothing. 12. Alright, well, the hacker side of this is going to be probably what keeps things from getting too powerful, unfortunately. Alright, let's take a look at the tarot. The other mystic stuff. Not having the reverse option is also going to hold this deck back. Chandler. Death. Deck full of death cards. Let's go. Psychic. Alright, third eye. Bonus players with their hands revealed. You may look at ace face down cards in play. Yeah, this is very much any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic faction. Alright. The spirit realm environments, the world. High Priestess. Fool. Emperor. So there are some here that don't have a reverse option, that might be more of the option to work with. So we got data shards that work with tarot as well. Kind of just funny though. It's like, it's the future. We have technology, and we're still messing around with new age psychic stuff. All right. Very few characters to work with is going to be rough. I think the spirit realm is going to be absolutely critical. Yeah. That is the must play this card. Remind me how many cards I have on the hacker side. 12? Alright. Give myself that reminder. 12. Alright. Four characters. Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Let's look at what we got here. We play a tarot, +1/+1 till end turn. Can get stealth, so that it can't be blocked. Install random running. +1 for each other mystic faction you control. It's in play. Data vamp. You can take back mainframe health. Yeah, this deck is going to have a rough time. So 4, 5, 6. Probably have to throw in the data shards too, just to have something else to get the presence for. That's what it's reminding me of. Spot this many factions. .hack enemy. Yeah, going back to that space just a little bit. The only thing we're not going back to is the whole portal system. Alright. Alright, so at the very least, there's another 10. I'll have to throw in tarot-wise. Is there anything that, even though not reversed, is still going to be helpful? Counter target character. Whenever a character controls destroyed by an opponent, destroy target character. Put up to 2 target characters into their owner's hands. Target character can't be destroyed this turn. Target character gets +2 until turn end. Put target character into its owner's hand. Draw 1 to discard 1 is always useful. Well, at least being able to draw. Special Foily Fool. Star. With the top 3 cards of your deck, put 1 in the hand. There's another 6. Another 8. Alright. So far we're up to 30. So now we're getting close to the other deck. Star the world. Search your deck for an environment and reveal it. Remind me what my environments are. All this. The grid to net check index. And the spirit realm. I mean, I may very well need it. Goes in hand, though. Destroy one of my own mystic characters just to counter a card. That's rough, but I need the option. Character's attack hits target player this turn. Prevent half the damage round down. So I target myself, and then any attack that hits me gets prevented by half, rounded down, and deal the prevented damage to that character's controller in Mainframe. Yeah. The moon, run X tar characters, or X the number of Taros played this turn. So we have to be able to build up a shit ton of RAM to make this work. But late in the game, it might work. But yeah, a lot of these are scripts, which means they're not going to sit and play is the problem. Hierophant, counter target card unless it's under. Controller pays 1. And death. Destroy target character. If you do, its controller creates a 2 Revenant token character. So, include everything. That brings the total up to 41. What I might do is bring both decks down to 30. And then rethink how they're going to actually work. Because again, the hacker side of things being the weaker half. I don't really have any power characters on this side. Black Hat gets pretty close though, but not close enough. Firewall is a sideboard card. If I don't know that I'm going to be going up against a hacker deck or mystic deck or whatever it goes Mainframe, probably not the wisest idea to go with that one. System error just feels like an auto include. Reboots the abilities of all hacker characters you control. Phantom OS purges itself. Search for the Sky does not refresh the character is the problem. But Black Hat, Digital Spectre, Encoder would benefit from Hackathon. Probably do without it. So down to 39. Memory leak, Trojan. What we can do? There. Memory leak stays because it works with Phantom OS, which means Phantom OS can stay. Or OS. Static Blast and Overload just aren't useful, so to go with that. Alright. So that brings that down to 10 cards on the hacker side. Which is going to be rough. No, wait. That's actually the Mystic side. So this pile is at 10 cards, as far as I'm concerned. Alright. Really? So I got 20 cards to keep out of all this. Obviously, the characters are important. A severe lack of characters is going to make this rough, though. Third Eye. Opponent's player with their hands revealed, you may look at any face-down cards in play. It's another bit of presence for Mystic. So it's something. The Spirit Realm is absolutely critical to what I need to be able to do. Darkstone. Amethyst. Moonstone. Yeah. Those are all must include. That brings it up to 20. How many of the tarot cards do I really need to use here? Counter. Retaliate. You kill my character's destroyers. Bounce characters back. The characters can't be a character of mine can't be destroyed. Improve power and bounce one character back. The Emperor does it better though. Fool. Draw one, discard one. Divine 3. We can discard something that works with something that gets picked out of the recycle bin. Cybernetic for environments. Attack hits. Can prevent a deal. Mainframe back. Counter target card. Plays one. Alright. And just for fun, let's include the Fool. The foily Fool. There's another 10. Alright. There. And I'm not even touching the factionless stuff. It's like, really? Alright. There. The Hacker Mystic deck is at its 30. Let's review Thrasher Cybernetic. We're not giving up any of the characters, because screw that. Characters immune to psychosis. How much of the cybernetics on my end are actually making me take the psychosis? Character attacks or runs. Alright. Codebreaker, Flux Cannon. Plasma Shackle is a malicious one. So if I take out so if I keep this overdriver, malicious, double psychosis, and hit them with Plasma Shackle. It's also make somebody feel malicious psychosis. On second thought, holding on to the gear was actually on the that side of things works out. But take out... No, I'm leaving clear text for the gear that I am holding on to. I'm going to drop in Overdriver, I think. So that brings that down to 32. Then I still got to cut 2 cards out of there. Beat down, destroy a character, and lose health on both ends. Trample, destroy target blocking character. No check. Launch counter. Alright. We take out the plug. Yeah. No, because every character is going to help, honestly. Despite dealing with fewer cards, this is... the harder choice to make. Gigadon Amp is gonna be costly. Yeah, when you gotta like cut cards out of your deck just to improve it, where do you go? Alternatively, as I said, I wanted things to be kind of even on both ends. Do I have any factionless characters? No. Do I have anything I want to... I can make the other deck 32 cards. That's what we'll do. We'll add antivirus to the other deck. And now both decks are at 32. Gonna big brain the... I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to deal with the hacker situation. Or... no, because I don't have a virus. It's your mainframe. Little counters on your mainframe. Actually, no, it doesn't help. No, it doesn't add anything. So, the virus out. Destroy target cyberware. That's what they can do. They can big brain the likelihood they're going to have to go up against a bioframe beatdown. Short circuit, slip, destroy target cyberware. There. That brings that deck up to 32. I'm going to leave this deck at 32. And you know what that means. Post Duck Works Showdown. Look forward to that episode. Savage versus Aethernet. Who do you think is going to win? And how much is this card going to be worth? I might just keep it because, you know, everyone's all about, let's make all the money from cards we possibly can. This is a goddamn treasure. You may play Taro's Reverse. Oh, I should just include her in the deck. Fuck it. There we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. Look forward to Post Deck Work Showdown and also the short. It's Pillar, and I'll see you next time.